Hello friends, myself Professor Vinod Desai, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, EITM, Belagavi. So last class I discussed about perspective projection transformation in detail. So today I will discuss about the viewport transformation and the three-dimensional screen coordinates. Once we have completed the transformation to normalized projection coordinates, the clipping can be applied effectively and efficiently to the symmetric cube or the unit cube. So following are the some clipping procedures that I will discuss. The contents of the normalized view value can be transferred to screen coordinates. For x and y positions in the normalized clipping window, this procedure is same as for the two-dimensional viewport transformation. But the positions throughout the three-dimensional view value have a depth of z coordinate, and we need to retain this depth information for the visibility testing and the surface rendering algorithms. So we can now think of viewport transformation as a mapping to three-dimensional screen coordinates. The x and y transformation equations from the normalized clipping window to positions within a rectangular viewport are given in the following matrix. Here we can adopt the matrix to three-dimensional applications by including the parameters for the transformation of z values to screen coordinates. Often, the normalized z value within the symmetric cube are renormalized here on the range from 0 to 1.0. This allows the video screen to be referenced as z equal to 0, and depth processing can be conveniently carried out over the unit interval from 0 to 1. If we include this z renormalization, then the transformation from the normalized view value to the three-dimensional screen coordinate is given in the following matrix. Yes, you can observe this matrix and try to understand. So this matrix is M normal view value, a 3D screen matrix. In normalized coordinates, the z norm equal to -1 face of the symmetric cube, which is correspond to the clipping window area, and this space of the normalized cube is mapped to the rectangular viewport, which is now referenced at z screen equal to 0. Thus, the lower left corner of the viewport screen area is at a position x vmin, y vmin, 0, and the upper right corner is at the position x vmax, y vmax, 0. Here, each xy position on the viewport, which is correspond to a position in the request buffer, which contains the color information for that point on the screen, and the depth value for each screen point is stored in another buffer area, and that buffer area is known as depth buffer. So in the next chapter, we'll explore the algorithms for determining the visible surface position and their colors. We position the rectangular viewport on the screen just as we did for two-dimensional applications. The lower left corner of the viewport is usually placed at a coordinate position specified, which is relative to the lower left corner of the display window, and the object proportions are maintained here if you set the aspect ratio of this viewport area to be same as clipping window. So next I will discuss about OpenGL three-dimensional viewing functions. So these functions are very important here. As we know, the OpenGL utility library, that is the glue library, it includes a function for specifying three-dimensional viewing parameters and another function for setting up a symmetric perspective projection transformation. This we studied in the previous sections. The other functions, such as those for an orthogonal projection An oblique perspective projection, and a viewport transformation are contained in the basic OpenGL library. In addition to this, the GLUT functions are available for defining and manipulating the display windows. So let us understand these GLUT functions one by one. So first set of functions are OpenGL viewing transformation functions. When we designate the viewing parameters in OpenGL, then a matrix is formed and concatenated with the current model view matrix. Consequently, this viewing matrix is combined with any geometric transformation that we may have also specified. This composite matrix is then applied to transform the object description in world coordinates to viewing coordinates. We set the model view mode with this statement. So this is what the function is for model view mode, that is a GL matrix mode. To this function we are passing one parameter, that is GL underscore model. Here viewing parameters are specified with the following glue function, which is in OpenGL utility library because it denotes the translation and rotation routines in the basic OpenGL library. That function is glue lookat. To this function we are passing the parameters x0, y0, z0, x reference, y reference, z reference, vx, vy, vz. So I think already we have made use of this function in our lab terms. The values for all these parameters in this function are to be assigned double precision or floating point values. This function designates the origin of the viewing reference frame as world coordinate position, that is p0, which is equal to x0, y0, z0. The reference position as p reference equal to x rep, y rep, z rep, and the view vector as v equal to vx, vy, vz. The positive z view axis for the viewing frame is in the direction n equal to p0 minus p reference, and this unit axis vectors for the viewing reference frame are calculated with some equation here. Because the viewing direction is along the minus z view axis, the reference position p rep is also referred to as lookat point. So p rep, that is a reference position point, or a reference position is referred as lookat point. This is important. This is usually taken to be some position at the center of the scene that we can use as a reference for specifying the projection parameters. So p rep we can use as a reference here, and we can think of the reference position as point at which we want to aim a camera that is located at viewing origin. The up orientation for the camera is designated with vector v, which is adjusted to a direction which is perpendicular to n. Viewing parameters are specified with the glue lookat function that are used to form the viewing transformation matrix. This matrix is formed as combination of a translation which shifts the viewing origin to the world origin and a rotation which aligns the viewing axis with the world axis. If we do not invoke the glue lookat function, then the default OpenGL viewing parameters are p0 equal to 0, 0, 0, p reference equal to 0, 0, minus 1, p equal to 0, 1, 0. For these default values, the viewing reference frame is same as the world frame with the viewing direction along the negative z world axis. In many applications, we can conveniently use these default values for the viewing parameters. The next set of viewing functions are OpenGL orthogonal projection functions. Here the figure, that is the figure 47, it shows the appearance and position of the default orthogonal projection view value. For two-dimensional applications, we used the glue ortho 2D function to set up the clipping window. We could also have used the GL ortho function to specify the clipping window as long as the parameters d near and d far were assigned values that were on opposite sides of the coordinate origin. In fact, if you call glue ortho 2D, which is equivalent to a call GL ortho, means call to these functions are same, that is glue ortho 2D and GL ortho, with d near equal to minus 1.0 and d far equal to 1.0, means they perform the same function here. As there is no OpenGL function for generating an oblique projection, so to produce an oblique projection view of a scene, we could set up our own projection matrix. Then we need to make this as the current OpenGL projection matrix. Another way to generate an oblique projection view is to rotate the scene into an appropriate position so that an orthogonal projection in Z view direction yield the desired view. The next set of function is OpenGL symmetric perspective projection function. There are two functions that are available here for producing a perspective projection view of a scene. One of these functions generates a symmetric frustum view value, that is symmetric frustum view value about the viewing directions, that is in the negative Z view axis. The other function can be used for either a symmetric perspective projection or a oblique perspective projection. For both of these functions, the projection reference point is the viewing coordinate origin and the near clipping plane is the viewing plane. A symmetric perspective projection frustum view value is set up with the following glue function, that is glue perspective function. So to this glue perspective function, as we are passing the parameters theta, comma aspect, comma d near and d far. With each of these four parameters assigned a double precision or a floating point number. The first two parameters define the size and position of the clipping window on the near plane, and the second two parameters will specify the distance from viewpoint to the near and far clipping planes. The parameter theta represents a field of view angle, which is the angle between the top and bottom clipping planes. This angle can be assigned any value from 0 degree to 180 degree. The parameter, that is the aspect, is assigned a value for the aspect ratio, which is nothing but width by height of the clipping window. For a perspective projection in OpenGL, the near and far clipping planes must always be somewhat along the negative Z view axis. Neither can be behind the viewing position. This restriction does not apply to any orthogonal projection, but it will converted perspective projection of an object when the view plane is behind the viewpoint. Therefore, both the d near and d far must be assigned positive numeric values, and the position of the near and far planes are calculated as z near equal to minus d near and z far equal to minus d far. If we do not specify a projection function, then our scene is displayed using the default orthogonal projection. In this case, the view volume is a symmetric normalized cube, which is shown in the following figure, that is figure 47. So in figure 47, as you can see, clipping window, then y view axis, z view axis, x view axis with respect to near clipping plane and the far clipping plane. The frustum view volume setup by the glue perspective function is symmetric about negative z view axis, and the description of a scene is converted to normalized homogeneous projection coordinates. Then the next set of functions are OpenGL general perspective projection function. We can use the following function to specify a perspective projection that has either a symmetric frustum view volume or an oblique frustum view volume. That function is GL frustum. So then the next important thing is OpenGL three-dimensional viewing program example. Here a perspective projection view of a square is shown, which is displayed by using this program, right? The square is defined in the xy plane and a viewing coordinate origin is selected to view the front face at an angle. Choosing the center of the square as a lookout point, we obtain a perspective view by using GL frustum function. If we move the viewing origin around the other side of the polygon, then the back face would be displayed as a view plane object. Yeah, as you can see in this particular program, yes, this is what the program which will illustrate or which will demonstrate the perspective projection view of a square, right? So in this program, as you can see, some of the parameters are initialized here, that is GL init is data type. So win width equal to 600, win height equal to 600. These are what the initial display window size. Then the other parameters which are of size GL float, that is x0, y0, z0. So these parameters are initialized for viewing coordinate origin. Then GL float, xrep, yrep, zrep. So these are the reference point for the lookout point or as a lookout point. Then next we are defining or the initializing the parameters for view of vector, that is a vx, vy, then vz. Then next we are setting the coordinate limits for the clipping window, that is a xw min, yw min, xw max and yw max. Then next we are setting the positions for near and far clipping planes, that is d near and d far, which are of size GL float. Then next we have defined init function here, where GL clear color clear the buffer, GL matrix mode will set a model or a model view here. It is for projection purpose. Then blue lookout, this we have studied. Then GL matrix mode, again it will set the projection mode here, and GL frustum we have studied. Then we have defined the function display FCN. So how it performs is first GL clear will clear the buffer, right, or it will set the individual object values. Next we are setting the parameters for a square fill area with the GL color 3F, which will set the color, or it will set fill color to green. So basically it will set the color as green here because the second parameter we are setting. Then for wireframe backface, so we are using two functions here. So GL polygon mode, that is for the front face with GL front, and GL underscore back. So this parameter we are using GL polygon mode for the wireframe back face. Then we are beginning a process here for quadratic, right? Then we are ending that process. Then GL flush, it is to flush out the buffer, or it will force all the functions to get execute and to get the buffer as empty as early as possible. The next function is reshape function, which is to reshape or to modify the object by resetting the width and height, that is win width and win height with new width and new height. Then we are writing the main function here. Most of the functions are familiar to you people because already we have studied, we have implemented some 5 to 6 lab demos. The same set of functions are repeating here. After GL, that is of course all functions are GL functions here. Glut init, it is to initialize the glut package. Then glut init display mode is to set the display mode for single and RGB colors. Then blue init window position, so it will set initial position for the display window. Then glut init window size, it will set the size of the window, that is display window, which is in terms of width and height. Then glut create window, it will set title, or it will create a title for the display window. Here the title is perspective view of a square. Then it will call the init function to initialize. Then glut display function to display. Then glut reshape. Oh, these are all the event handlers here. Glut reshape function is to reshape windows width and windows height to the new width and new height. And glut main loop, so this is very important. So this will make all functions into implementation, so that whatever the functions you have defined here, it will fetch the output for those functions, or I will get the actual output for all the return functions with the execution of glut main loop. And for this one, so this is what the display you can expect, right? That is the perspective view of a square. So this is what the output display generated by the three-dimensional viewing program, that is the previous program. Thank you.